Cuba, lacking fuel, relies on ingenuity to defy Trump's blockade. That's the headline from the New York Times, and it captures a story of resilience unfolding on the island right now. President Trump has tried to strangle Cuba by blocking its oil imports, cutting off the Venezuelan lifeline that kept the lights on. He predicted collapse within months. "It's just going to fall," he told reporters back in January. But 6 months later, Cuba hasn't fallen. Instead, Cubans are doing what they've done for decades under pressure: they're adapting. Our colleagues Jack Nikes and Alex Pena spent a week in Cuba this month on the first journalism visas granted to New York Times staff in nearly 8 years. What they found on the ground tells a different story than the one coming out of Washington. Yes, Cubans are suffering. Mass blackouts now last nearly all day. Fuel lines are dry. The government rations power, turning on the lights for just a few hours at a time. But alongside that hardship, a quiet revolution is happening in how Cubans generate and use energy. People are swapping their gas-guzzling 1950s American cars for electric motorcycles and rickshaws imported from China. They're hauling hefty lithium batteries up apartment stairs to keep televisions and fans running through the blackouts. Mechanics are jury-rigging generators to run on more accessible natural gas. Solar panels are appearing on rooftops and even on vehicles. Together, these workarounds amount to a new Cuban energy grid, one that's more in the hands of ordinary people, propping up society when the central grid fails. This decentralized improvisation has enabled the government to stretch its scarce fuel reserves further than the Trump administration apparently expected. Secretary of State Marco Rubio told reporters last week the administration still wants to see the Cuban government fall. "We're prepared to be very realistic about how you do that, and patient," he said. "These are complex things that take time." But Cuba's deputy foreign minister, Carlos Fernández de Cosío, offered a different framing in an interview. "Cuba is not an enemy of the United States. What we would like is a constructive and respectful relationship. For now, the standoff continues." And as farmer Humberto Palmero put it simply, Cubans thrive amid crisis. It's a sentiment born from nearly 7 decades of U.S. pressure that has failed to topple the government founded by Fidel Castro, and that now runs into the same wall every administration before it has hit: the ingenuity of a people who've made survival an art form. That's all for this episode. Thanks for listening.